The Joe Rogan Experience.
Do you ever do anything like isolation tank? Do you ever do that?
I've always wanted to.
We'll have one here if you want to do it.
Yeah, I do.
Do
I've always wanted to do that. I do. I want to kind of go back and say, like, I don't want to disparage therapy. I think it does help a lot of people. It definitely has helped me.
Well, I think therapy is like comedy. There's good therapy, and there's terrible therapy.
Yeah. And by the way, certain personality types really are kind of untreatable. So if you have like narcissistic personality disorder, my therapist's like, the dirty secret is we'll kind of like pass them off to someone else or something, because once you realize somebody can't see it, they're wrong, they won't really.
Well, I talked to a therapist about that. They said some therapy doesn't work because all these people are really there for us to talk about themselves.
Yeah. My therapist is kind of calls me out on shit.
Oh.
So I like her. My
That's
friends
good.
who have overheard us because we FaceTime, because she's a holdover from the East Coast. They're like, it sounds like she's your friend and she's being kind of like hard on you, but I need that. I need somebody who's gonna, I don't necessarily always. It was interesting. I just learned this past week that when you've had trauma, one of the kind of byproducts is that not only do you not trust people, but you don't trust yourself. And I was like, I didn't know this.
You put yourself in a bad situation, right? So you don't trust your own
judgment. And often, like, your reaction to it. So my reaction to what happened to me was yes, I was young and I can forgive myself for that, but I was like hypersexual after that. You know, and then I recently last week had this moment where I was like, oh God, all the like men that just didn't deserve me. And this is one of the... I mean, it really was like I felt like I was re-virginized or something. I don't know what happened, but I suddenly was like, wow, I suddenly have self-worth. It's like,
and it took me a long time. For you too,
well,
right?
This is one of the, where I'm squishy. I'm squishy on a lot of things, and I think feminism is really important, and to like shit on it is, there are women who died and got jailed for like the right to vote. So that doesn't sit well with me. But some of the excesses of feminism and of in particular, like sexual liberation, is that I was told sex is empowering, and it's not fucking empowering if you're not empowered already. Like, in my experience,
you were told sex is empowering as a part of feminism.
Well, it's kind of the messaging is like, women can have sex too, and just like it's an empowering
isn't
thing.
It more of an anti-shame thing, because like women are shamed for their
yeah,
feelings,
and I think that's
passion.
why I think I understand it. I understand why that would be but I feel like what got lost is that sex is very intimate, and for years I was like, intimacy is so creepy. I just I couldn't make eye contact. No, we're not doing that. That's not happening. And it's get in the back. Get in the back. I just didn't have that. I don't know. I missed the memo that it should be something. I was taught that it was, like to kind of withhold because then a man won't respect you, which feels a little bit transactional. So there's that messaging. And then there's messaging of like, free the nipple and be empowered, and like, you can have sex with whoever you want. But if you have trauma and you're not really great on the self-esteem department, and then you start trying to sleep your way to empowerment, it's only going to create, in my experience, for me, it created a lot more shame and a vicious cycle that was like very connected to addiction for me too.
Sleeping your way to empowerment is a funny concept.
Well,
suck and fuck your way to enlightenment.
I mean, I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, and I know I can, the problem with my brain is that I'm always like contradicting myself. So
that's because life is complicated.
Yeah.
It's not binary. Like sex is good or sex is bad. Like there's different situations where it's good and different situations where it's terrible for you.
Yeah. And it's just the whole weird writing for Playboy. You asked me when I started writing, I wrote that piece, Bill Cosby Raped Me Kind of.
That's a great title.
Thank you. And then I ended up, Twitter was really how I got every connection in the writing world. Somebody hooked me up with an editor from Playboy, and there was this piece going around that was like, why I don't suck dick. And I'm like, well, someone needs to stick up for sucking dick, and that person needs to be me. And so I pitched to Playboy, like, in defense of why I love giving blowjobs, basically. And I didn't know, again, because I'm like a child of the 90s who was just high, I didn't get the memo that now a lot of that is seen as like internalizing the patriarchy.
What? Wait a minute. What is?
Literally.
What about eating pussy? What is that?
Not eating pussy, sucking dick.
Okay? But how does that work?
Oh, that's okay. But it's only okay.
Sucking dick is internalizing the patriarchy because you take it into your body?
Well, no, just some went. The whole point of like not why I don't suck dick is that it's like it's a degrading experience, which it can feel that way. And I was saying
everything can feel degrading sexually,
and it's not this or that. You know, like sexuality is so fucking complicated. That's why I loved writing for Playboy, because it is everything. It is shame and fear and intimacy and love and passion and all of it. Like it all happens in sex and in those messy relationships.